Once upon a time, in the enchanting village of Nia, there was a magical candle at the heart of the village. This candle was no ordinary one. It had burned for generations, its flame never extinguishing. It was said that as long as the flame burned brightly, the candle would not melt. But when the flame went out, the candle would slowly begin to disappear. One fateful day, something strange happened. A mighty wind arose, twisting and turning through the village. With a single, fierce gust, it blew the flame away. The villagers scrambled, flicking their wicks and desperately trying to relight the candle, but no spark would catch. The candle stood silent and cold. Slowly, its wax began to melt, dripping away like teardrops into the earth. With the flame gone, the village of Nia began to change. The once busy market grew quiet. The storytellers stopped weaving their tales. The farmers no longer sang as they tilled the fields, and the children's laughter faded into silence. The villagers, once full of life and dreams, became shadowed versions of themselves. Among the villagers was a spirited young woman named Zuri. She missed the joy of her village, the vibrant colors and songs. One day, as she stared at the dim candle, her grandmother whispered, "If anyone can bring back the flame, it's you, Zuri, but the path will not be easy. You must go to Omari, the wise man in the Mountain of Hope." As Zuri traveled, the path to the Mountain of Hope led her to strange encounters. The first was with an old sculptor named Bahati. She found him sitting before a half-carved statue, his tools rusting at his feet. "Why don't you finish your sculpture?" Zuri asked. Bahati sighed. "I began to doubt myself. What if my work isn't good enough?" So I stopped. "But what if it inspires others?" Zuri asked gently. Bahati paused, then nodded. "Perhaps you're right." Picking up his tools, he began to sculpt again. As Zuri journeyed farther, she came across a weaver named Asha, sitting alone in a quiet shop filled with unfinished tapestries covered in dust. "Why have you stopped weaving?" Zuri asked. Asha sighed, her eyes heavy with sorrow. "I used to weave the most vibrant cloth, but one day a man came to my shop, a trader from a faraway land. He admired my work, praised my talent, and promised me riches if I wove him the finest tapestry. I worked tirelessly, pouring my heart into every thread. But when it was finished, he took the tapestry and vanished, leaving me with nothing." Zuri glanced at the faded threads piled beside the loom. "So now you've stopped weaving altogether?" "What's the point?" Asha said bitterly. "All my effort, my love, it was stolen. Why should I weave for anyone else?" Zuri glanced at the faded threads piled beside the loom. "This thread, it doesn't lose its beauty because someone misused it. Your work doesn't lose its worth because one person didn't value it. There are so many who still cherish what you create." Asha hesitated, then smiled and tied a fresh thread to her loom. The sound of the loom's rhythmic clatter soon filled the air, and Asha's shop began to glow with life once more. Zuri continued her journey and met an old man sitting by a dry well. "Why are you here?" she asked. "I've dug for years, hoping to find water for my family, but the well remains dry. I've failed," he said. "What if you're just one strike away?" Zuri encouraged. The old man struck the ground one more time, and water bubbled up, clear and sparkling. "You were right," he said, laughing through tears. One more try was all it took. Finally, Zuri reached the Mountain of Hope. Omari, the wise man, sat in his quiet sanctuary, his eyes clouded with doubt. "Why have you come?" Omari asked. "To bring back the flame," Zuri said. "Our village is lost without it." Omari looked at her with a heavy sigh. "The flame of your village candle, it defies all explanation. A candle that melts only when its flame is gone, and a glow that no torch or ember can rekindle. It is unlike any candle I have ever known." He paused, his voice filled with a quiet reverence. "The flame isn't something you can relight with your hands. It burns from something far deeper." Zuri thought of the sculptor, the weaver, and the laborer. "That's it!" Zuri exclaimed, standing up suddenly. "The flame doesn't come back on its own. It burns when we live fully, when we dream, create, and believe again. We've been waiting for the candle to fix us, but we're the ones who must fix the candle." Omari's eyes brightened. "You have reminded me of what I had forgotten. Go back and share this truth." Zuri returned to the village, sharing what she had learned. She spoke to the villagers, helping them rediscover their passions. The baker who stopped baking, the storyteller who stopped telling tales, the farmer who stopped planting. Slowly, the village began to come alive again. One day, as Zuri sat by the magical candle, something extraordinary happened. A tiny flame flickered to life. It grew brighter and brighter until it illuminated the entire village. The people gathered in awe as the candle burned not only with light, but with warmth. And so, the Nia village flourished once more, its people living fully, their dreams fueling the flame.